got a lot of perspective from that experience. Is like, look, they have this life and they're still making the most of it.
Right.
And what are we complaining about? And are we making the most of what the opportunities we've been granted?
Right.
It's like this and like that, and like this and it's like this and like that, and like this and it's like that. Now you already know how to go. On the grind 24, keep that shit on the low. Young fly dapper, Indian rapper, keep it 100 like Wilt Chamberlain. I ain't no actor. Don't judge me by my cover till you read a couple chapters. Got homies from the 90s, still family matters. I got that image that the West ain't never seen.
Man, good to see you, bro. Like,
Chatted for.
Yeah, we've known each other for quite some time.
Yeah, you're in my area, man. So yeah, man, small suburb, very quiet. It's kind of a place where you raise a family. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's nothing like my life now in LA. But so LA's busy. I think right now, my biggest focus right now also is getting my MBA. Mm-hmm. So I'm at USC right now.
Okay.
It's been a good experience though. You learn a lot of different perspectives, and you're obviously getting more knowledge from the business world, and I think that'll help us in the long run. But it's quite the task, man, to manage that in music, man. And
so wait, so it's not just school and music, right? Because you also do like a 40-hour a week, like full-time job at a corporate place, right?
Yeah, I'm in the corporate world too. It's kind of crazy, a lot of artists, they'll do anything to make that paper. I happen to be in the corporate world. Yeah. I'm an analyst at a tech company. Okay. So a lot of people really don't know that about me.
Right. You got to do what you got to do to, like go for your dreams.
Exactly. And that's how I fund, help fund a lot of things that we do. 40, 50-hour weeks, and then going to school 2 or 3 times a week, and still trying to be creative in the process. Right. Man. It gets a little tough, man. Yeah. But, you make it work. Yeah. Or try to, at least.
Right. And this is the age, bro. You know what I mean? We're in our 20s, late 20s for me. And if we don't hustle hard now, when the fuck are we gonna do it? You know what I mean?
This is it, man. The 20s is the most, I feel like it's the most influential time in your life. So many things happen in your 20s. I graduated college, I got my first job, I'm going to school now. All my big records came out at age 20, my big features. So it's crazy, man. It's a fun time. It's been a blur the last 2 years, bro. I don't know where time has gone, but it's been good, man. I mean, I can't complain. I'm getting better as a person, so just trying to continue and keep doing what we're doing, man. So yeah, currently right now, a big project, our focus for me and my brother Shay, is our EP with Haji. Okay. So some years ago when we dropped On the Low, I had good success. We were getting a lot of buzz. At that time, Haji was like, yo, let's do a 6-track EP, 5-track EP, and let's do a huge project. It's about 5 tracks on the project. Okay. Haji's on all the tracks. Shay produced most of it. Okay.
What are the inspirations behind this album? Like, what's the content,
The content's really just the come up, you know what I mean? Okay. Haji came up, obviously as a Desi rapper. Me and Shay are brothers trying to get into the rap game. So there's a lot of similarities when it comes to like our grind, me and Haji's grind. Right. And this is kind of just to show that, there's these Desi rappers, there's all these stereotypes that come around us and how we can't do certain things. But, we're putting out a project that's respectable, people can listen to. It tells us, our story. First things first, I think Desi's in general, like, we're all coming up. You're seeing some of the biggest companies based in the United States having Indian CEOs. Oh, yeah. In India, they have a lot of talent shows now where people are dancing, they're singing. There's just a lot of talent there. And, there's actors that have come and crossed over into Hollywood. And, so you're seeing us be in kind of this pop culture and entertainment like we've never had before.
Right.
You know, a lot of the stereotypes has always been, you don't see Indian people or Desi people in general taking on these kind of unorthodox hobbies where it's entertainment or something not, you know, academic related, or, you know, the typical path we've had in the last few years. In high school, when I was in high school, you know, I was an honor roll kid, or, you know, I had good grades. And I had my parents put a huge emphasis on school, you know what I mean? And I did well. But, you know, my passion for music developed in high school. And for them, it took them a little time to get used to, like, you know, hey, my son is doing, not even just my son, both of my sons are in music, and the hip hop genre at that, you know what I mean? So there's a stigma that comes with hip hop that, you know, from the gangster rap days, even though hip hop has evolved so much these days, you know, it kind of took a little bit, but you know, my parents, my friends, my family, my aunts and uncles, they all see, like, you know, hey, he has a passion for this, they're doing well, so maybe this isn't something weird. You know, he's handled what he's need to handle. He's gone to school, he's gotten his master's, you know, he works. You know, what do we have to say, you know, that's really, you know, going to, like, really talk down on him like that, you know what I mean? It's so that's the biggest thing, I think, is just breaking barriers and showing kind of the world that, you know, Desi people, it's kind of a new breed, it seems like, out here, even though we've been out here, we're some of the brightest people in this country. It's just breaking those barriers to be like, look, we can do these things, you know what I mean? And we can do them well. So it's time to look our way.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Really, so, yeah, man, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me. And I think at this point now, now that we have this goal, it's a real big thing of us is, you know, how do we accomplish this? How do we execute on it? How do we keep that dream going? You know what I mean?
It's tough, but anything that's, you know, worth having, you know, requires that, you know, sweat, blood, and tears. You know what I mean? Exactly,
and that's the thing, man. A lot of people don't see the hustle, they don't see the grind. You know, they see the end product, which is dope. I mean, that's what you do music for, is that end product and that evoking emotion, that end result. But you know, people don't know how many hours we've been in the studio recording, the amount of effort it takes to put out a project and the marketing that goes behind it. And when things don't go your way, the emotion you feel, like, you know, was this a failure? Was this not? You know, people don't see that side. They see one track, you know?
And you know what's impressive is, like, artists and rappers in particular, in this generation, in this current day and age, they're like entrepreneurs. You know, you got to be good at pretty much everything. You got to wear 100 hats. You got to be the CEO. You got to be the marketing guru. You got to be the salesman. You got to, oh my God, you got to be the branding guy. What the,
like, it's, to build your brand, it is very difficult. And when you message people or you do something on a mass scale as far as marketing, you know, people will take it as, oh, it's spam and all that kind of stuff. But it's really someone really trying to get their music out there by any means necessary. You know what I mean? I don't really tell a lot of people, like, they could, you know, formulate their own opinions and judgments, but to take a track and to really get it out there, like, you can take a track and have your 50 friends listen to it. That's not going to do anything, you know what I mean? To get it out there to a mass scale where a friend of a friend of a friend comes up to you and is like, oh wait, you're Ayo? Like, I've heard your tracks before. That's when you're like, okay, I'm doing something. Like, my music has gotten out there. I don't know to how many people, but it's there. And yeah, you got to wear the marketing hat. You got to be the business guy. You got to manage your budget. You got to find budget. You got to, you know, in the midst of your life. I mean, we've been doing it for some years now. We just get better with each year, you know, a little smarter, meeting good connections, building our network.
So how's that relationship with you and Shay?
Yeah, man. I was rapping before he started producing, and that's something he just picked up.
Okay.
You know, his beats slowly got better as, you know, my rapping started to improve, and then once his level of production started getting to the right level, then we just started doing things together all the time, and then we just elevating our sounds together. So there's a lot of headbutting in the studio, you know what I mean? Like, he'll have, you know, no one wants to get criticized on their craft, right? But I mean, he'll have a beat, I tell him to change some things, you know, and he's like, no, I don't know about that, but I want something changed. Or I have a lyric, or you know, I drop a vocal, and he's like, nah, that didn't sound cool, or the verse is whack, like, write it again. You know, yeah, you feel like, man, who are you? Like, that's my verse, you know, or that's my beat. But us doing that and, you know, putting down that shield, like, that's how we've gotten the music that we've done so far, you know. We keep building is, you know, you take each other's criticism. But yeah, we do a lot of things, you know, music's, you know, that's kind of like, that's your blood, man. That's kind of your backbone, you know what I mean? And we kind of ride for each other, and not kind of, we do ride for each other, and, you know, that's the one person I can trust, you know, with everything.
You had this song which you recorded in India, and it was influenced by a lot of poor kids, and you just were inspired by this. You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit about that story. You know, when you visited India that time.
I hadn't gone to. I think I went to India about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And up until then, I hadn't gone for a whole decade.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a very long time.
And where in India did you go?
So I went to New Delhi. I have family in Gurgaon. I went to Punjab. I have a family in Chandigarh, and then I went down to Mumbai.
Okay.
So you know, I saw my family. You know, in Delhi, you get a different perspective out there. It's very different from here.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot more modernized now, but it's still like you see the cultural differences, you know, from America and India.
Yeah.
I think what really opened our eyes was when we went down to Mumbai, and you hear about this economic divide all the time in India, and I've never really seen it firsthand. But when you're on your flight and you're coming down into the airport in Mumbai, you literally come down the airport and you're literally flying over all the slums. And I'm like, whoa. We looked out the window, I'm like, holy crap, look at this. Like, this is real, you know what I mean? And we saw that. We went to Mumbai, and we got like 2 very different experiences. So we're staying at the Shangri-La, you know, getting drinks at the J-Dub, and then all of a sudden, right over your view is of the slums, and that kind of was like, you know, crazy. So me and my brother definitely experienced it. We walked around, and we just, you know, we walked around, got to feel what it was like. It was eye-opening. Like, you know, obviously kids kind of latch on to you because they see that you're kind of different, the way you're dressed and stuff like that. So they, who is this person, you know? So, you know, that was a good experience, man. I mean, it was sad to see, but you see them, like I say in the song, you see them playing, you see them smiling, you still see them having fun. You know, they're enjoying life. So it's like you put, I think I got a lot of perspective from that experience. It's like, look, they have this life and they're still making the most of it. You know, what are we complaining about, and are we making the most of the opportunities we've been granted? You know, these kids will probably die for some opportunities that we have, the simple opportunities we have. So that kind of inspired me, just like, you know, hey, look, you know, I'm always thinking forward, like, what's my next move? How do I get better? How do I get this? You never have perspective or time to look back at, you know, what you've accomplished or what you've been given, you know what I mean? And be grateful about it. So that song was kind of like, it was supposed to epitomize that. It's just to be grateful, you know what I mean? Because there's a whole other world out there that is very different from how we're living, you know what I mean? And if they can make the best out of that, you know,
we can do anything.
We can do anything, you know what I mean? You better make the best out of the opportunities you're given, you know what I mean? Don't let them go to waste, so.
Like, I'm gonna set up the whole thing in a certain way, so it's gonna be kind of like what your life is like and what you're planning to do, what you're working on, you know. So it's gonna be kind of like that, but it's gonna be free flowing. So it's literally whatever the fuck you want, you know.
Mic check. Mic check. Here with Rafat.